welcome to Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, where we're here for round number 5 of UK&I Monday Night Skippys. Rachel Whiteford and Conor Maddock in the booth as always, as qualifying is almost in the books here, Connery. This track is the Daytona or the Talladega of road course racing. It's long, it's fast, and there's a lot of draft.
Yep, exactly, and for that exact reason, expect some little bit of pack racing, shall we say here, or at least as much pack racing as you can get in these Skip Barber racing cars. But as you just saw, Clark Williams come across the line, number 98 car for his second qualifying lap. He only improves up to that 13th spot though. But there's been a couple of qualifiers here qualifying higher than we perhaps might expect them to, Rachel.
Well, they did until they got dropped down the order, of course. Paul Thurston was running 4th in qualifying until he's down to 15th now. This is how close things are. But yes, we are going to be ending qualifying in just a few seconds' time. We'll go straight to your grid. Once again, Tom Ward on the pole for tonight with a 2 minutes 30.466. Draft, a big factor here. Stuart Adcock in second, only about 3/100ths behind him. Gary Toll in third. Stuart McFadden in fourth with Gareth Dorning in fifth. Mark Turner in 6th place with Mick Watson, Steve Hefford, Bill Fraser and Patrick Fairbanks, your top 10. And Connery, tonight, big race, 45 drivers for this track. It's a tough one, fairly simple circuit, but there's going to be a lot of traffic here. And, well, this could be one of those times where we see Tom Ward defeated because the pack will be staying with him.
Yeah, he hasn't really got all that many opportunities to get away unless some sort of instant happens behind him and he's able to put those good laps down to try and break the draft. But if that doesn't happen, well, we'll be seeing the likes of Stuart Adcock, Gary Toll, Stuart McFadden maybe staying with him for the vast majority of this race. Just looking at the back of the grid, though, you know that uphill bit where before the start-finish line on this straight here at Road America, they're starting on that incline at the back of the grid.
Yeah, they certainly are. It's going to make things very interesting for them, of course, as they are actually starting uphill. So that will be a tough one for these guys to handle, especially towards the rear of the grid. Big grid tonight, as we mentioned, 45 cars in today's one. And, well, at the front, Tom Ward and Stuart Adcock, two very potent opponents up there. Gary Toll in third, he will be a major factor as the engines will rev. And the flag will wave, green flag here at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. And Tom Ward takes the flag as the front four single file very rapidly, front five in fact. It's Ward, Adcock, Toll, McFadden, Dorning there, getting single file with Turner behind them also as inside. Early run for the front of your field. Stuart Adcock starts as he means to go on. Look at that coming.
Yeah, Stuart Adcock right to the race lead, but here comes Tom Ward, maybe replying on the inside line this early on in the race, but no, he's going to back out of the move, and Gary Toll and Stuart McFadden will just file in behind, all like a single file, like a bobsleigh team, as side by side behind them. Mark Turner, Gareth Dorning, Mick Watson, Steve Hefford, they're all in the battle just outside your podium positions.
Bit of two-wide racing back in your pack. It's not the fastest way around here, but they're doing it anyway, as up front. It is Ward and Adcock again, with behind them Toll and McFadden side by side. Too wide, too deep in the run down to turn number 5 here on lap number 1 of 10 today. Ward goes to the front and McFadden gets past Toll. As the inside line could have a run here for second place as well, Connery.
Yeah, that could well happen. Actually, Stuart McFadden will just settle in behind just for this uphill braking zone of turn 6. As we look back in the pack, though, here's Steve Hefford and Mick Watson. They're going to head their way side by side, just coming through turn 7 right now. There's Bill Fraser right behind, getting his nose in there. There's also fighting behind as well, Patrick Fairbanks versus John Sully also behind this one, as we see Bill Fraser run into the back of Mick Watson. Mick Watson has to push wide. He saves their car, and they're going to take it 3 wide, maybe coming down into the carousel. Yes, 3 wide behind between Fraser, Fairbanks and Clark Williams.
Bit of contact there in turn number 8 as the 310 of Watson was pushed sideways. He manages to collect the car and just about save it, but it's contact with Steve Hefford there that cost him some time as it's 3 wide behind him, or was, as we say, came out of that incident. Patrick Fairbanks and Bill Fraser involved in that one. Looking back towards the front there, Tom Ward and Stuart Adcock. Adcock goes to the outside in the run towards Canada corner here. We'll have the inside line for Canada. But Adcock back to the lead, and this is of course a track where the pass through the final corners will make all the difference.
Yes, it will, since the draft is so much of a factor around this track. And just look at this battling in the mid-pack. Patrick Fairbanks currently P10 going side by side with Mick Watson, again coming through Bill Mitchell-Ben. John Edwards is there. There's a lot of fighting behind as well going on between Bill Fraser, Stuart Mathis, Clark Williams, Robert Plumey, Jake Tucker behind all of this. And through the final corner, there's a spinner. There's Matt Cox in the gravel.
It certainly was. We're going to replay of what happened there for you with Matt Cox. Connery, take it away.
Was just largely a single car incident, getting two of those left-hand side tires on the grass.
3 wide, Connery at the front of your field. Ward, Adcock and McFadden. McFadden on the inside, Ward in the middle, Adcock on the outside there. Running into turn 1, who will be the last of the late breakers? Tom Ward from the middle slots through. Very brave by Tom Ward there. Although possibly the best line for it, as here comes Tall as well to get involved. This looks like this race is not going to go all Tom Ward's way here, Connery. He's already not led most of the first lap, and the second lap's already looking pretty threatening, as up the inside of Stuart Adcock will look Gary Tall. This one could be an interesting race.
Yeah, could be very interesting indeed if Tom Ward isn't going to be allowed to pull away, as I think Gary Tall maybe is going to have to back out of this move. Well, he's going to keep his car there. It's actually battle for the race here. Here comes Stuart McFadden down the inside of Tom Ward at 10.5. He'll inherit the race lead right there, and he stays in front of him as well, the young Scotsman to the lead.
He does indeed, and he holds that one in position for now. Goes a defensive line there on Ward. The outside will look Adcock, and can he hold his car there? He's going to try. Looking brave right now as a big crash with the 109. A little bit further back in your field. We'll take a quick look on replay at what happened with them. It's Patrick Fairbanks, Connery.
Yeah, this is coming down into the braking zone of turn 5. Just gets into a bit of a tangle with John Edwards, just hooking the wheels right there on the front wing. Just spins Patrick Fairbanks around, heavy impact with the concrete barrier, and that is 2 cars out of the race in that incident.
Senier's back to live though, coming out the carousel. Tom Ward's got a big run on McFadden there. So does Adcock. Adcock's going to not stay in line. We don't think he'll look to the inside. Will he go for the kink? No. No one that brave yet to try and make a move in the kink, as it's McFadden leading on the run towards Canada. It's going to be 2 wide at least, as Adcock will look for a position. Can't find it. Ward goes to the outside. Can he clear McFadden? McFadden going to go late on the brakes at the inside. Has the line. Adcock up the inside of Ward 2. Ward struggling a bit here.
Yep, he really is. He has to take it 2 wide, maybe coming through Bill Mitchell-Ben, coming towards the end of the lap. It's 2 wide for the race. Tom Ward almost makes contact with Stuart McFadden, but they managed to get through unscathed. Here comes Stuart Adcock down the inside of the final corner here, turn 14 at Road America. Still 2 wide, and they're going to have to make it a drag race. Coming down the pit straight, what's Gary Tall behind going to do? Is he going to try and search for the gap in the middle? It's not there yet. He's just going to head towards the left-hand side of the track next to the grass, taking it 2 wide down the straight. Maybe we see a challenge for the lead now. Here comes Tom Ward, 2 by 2 across the start-finish line, maybe 3. There we go. Let's go 3 wide racing, 4 wide racing, almost at the end of the pit straight there, Rachel.
Optimistic racing here from your top 4. Behind them, Mark Turner, Gareth Dorning still in the mix for this one, so don't count them out yet. Adcock up the inside, the run down through 1. As they go through 2, heading towards turn 3. Yes, that was turn 2. You blink, you miss it. It's not really a corner, but welcome to America. As the front row, it's Tom Ward, it's Stuart Adcock. Here comes McFadden, not to be beaten. 3 wide, going to be on the run from 3 down towards turn 5 at the bottom of the hill. No room for Gary Tall to make a move here. The track is basically blocked with 3 cars abreast for the lead of your race. Who will have the late brakes here? The line has got to be advantage here to Adcock here, but it could still be Tom Ward as it's a very slow braking zone, but Adcock goes deep. Can he carry the momentum around the outside? He does, yes. Adcock to the lead with a pass in the middle, 3 wide from turn 5. It's 2 wide for second place there. Ward will hold the position. This race is absolutely gripping. Look at this, Gareth Dorning behind this group here. That is the black car there, the one behind him. John Sully getting involved. Steve Hefford up here too. Mick Watson also there with Bill Fraser. This one is definitely lighting up, Connery.
Yeah, with the way things are right now, any one of your top 8 can win this race if they stick together. Here comes Mark Turner down the inside of Gareth Dorning, but he'll have the outside line for the carousel as there's more battling behind, this time between Sully and Turner now. Sully held in that inside line of the carousel, and he's not quite going to make it. He's going to have to hold it in there for the kink, but no, he's going to lose out, and he's going to come under threat from Steve Hefford right there as well. But no, he's not going to take the inside line for the kink. They're going to head single file through there.
The brave, well, sorry, should we call it a sane decision there, Connery, as at the moment is Adcock leading from Tom Ward with behind them. We've got the cars of Jim McFadden, and we also have Gary Toll there, so 2 pairs. They'll close up again. We're absolutely sure of that. As Hancock has a good run up towards Billy Mitchell Bend here. Can Tom Ward get a run? Will he get the outside look? Going to stay in line for now through Billy Mitchell Bend there. Up towards the final corner here. A long, surprisingly long right-hand corner. Important to get a big run out of this final shot here. Up the giant climb here to the start-finish line. Tom Ward has a good run already. Leader will always be a victim here, and look at this. This is interesting for later on, Connery. Can you pass before the line? If you get a big enough run, answer is yes. But you messed it up. Maybe not.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that your drivers now have to consider. You can make the pass complete out of the final corner if you have enough momentum. The straight is long enough for that. Here comes Stuart McFadden down the inside of turn 1 on Stuart Adcock. Will he make the move stick? The opportunity's still there for him, just not able to make it through there. Maybe he has an opportunity coming down into turn 3 this time, or is he going to stick behind? Well, he's going to go for the latter of those two, and he's going to stick behind, maybe looking for the run out of turn 3 to take it down this back straight, but it doesn't look like he has the momentum. Side by side behind those. It's for P6, Mark Turner and John Sully in the 13 and the 39. They're going to head 2 wide, maybe 3 wide if Steve Hefford sticks it down the middle. Not enough space right there. Well, maybe a Skip Barber car's with the space, then he doesn't want to risk it as 2 wide for your race lead again.
Certainly is. One of the big differences here, of course, Tom Ward hasn't got that many friends in that front group, so not going to find a draft partner that will block for him, which could make this a very interesting race if they choose to gang up on that friction racing machine there, who's currently your leader. Stuart Adcock in 2nd place, McFadden in 3rd, Toll in 4th, Dawning 5th. If these guys work together, Connery, this could be a very upsetting day for Tom Ward, but the propensity for contact when things get tight is always there, so we have to keep an eye on that, of course. Looking a bit further back in your field, of course, the leading swapping around very often. We had a bit of a fight here with Nick Sigley down in the 33 car. That's the purple and green number 33. Running behind him at the moment, we've got James A. Barrington, Paul Thurston just up ahead of that group, with Stuart Mathers also. It looks like Thurston's moving forwards a bit here. Started, of course, in 15th place, up to 13th, looking at 12th now, actually, Connery.
Yeah, but if a couple of cars have instance ahead of him, he could easily be inside the top 10. Yet again, they're going to go 2 wide for the race lead. There goes Stuart Adcock through on Tom Ward. So they're basically just sharing the race lead at the moment between 3 drivers, Stuart Adcock, Tom Ward, and Stuart McFadden.
Certainly are, and well, they're not fighting too hard, which means they're keeping close, and this battle could definitely be an open one to decide. And it'll be a matter of who comes out of this final corner in 2nd place, Connery. The draft's so big here. If you don't make a mistake, you're guaranteed to pass by the line. We'll see this time. Tom Ward will get that run again, and you'll see the draft effect just kick in there. And he should have a good run up here. Going to go to the outside this time, though. Defensive line by Stuart Adcock there. Again, just clear by the line, and it was only just that time, so it needs to be a good run. Look at it behind them. Gary Toll's going to make the move on McFadden. Here comes Dawning as well, big run by him. Some patient racing as we go into lap number 5 here. Look a bit further back again. Paul Thurston there with alongside him. It's the number 9 car of Barrington, who gets the move done, moves himself up into the 13th spot here. A bit further back in your field, we'll have a look around some racing. We had some 3 wide back there with Scott Malcolm, the 74 car. And around him as well, we also had Peter Cowan and Keith Sharp being stuck in there with the action. There's a bit of a swerve there. Is behind him. Jake Tucker keeping his eyes on this one too. He's been up front a few times this season, always want to keep an eye on. There's a bit of 2 wide there. Scott Malcolm, Peter Cowan, as they run down towards 5. Looking back to the front though, Connery, it's still Adcock and it's still Ward. Adcock leading now though. Behind them, Gary Toll back into 3rd.
Yeah, he is. And while Gary Toll and Stuart McFadden have been fine, they've just allowed the front 2 of Stuart Adcock and Tom Ward just to get away ever so slightly. Not out of draft range by any means, as there's been a crash on the circuit involving the number 74. That is Scott Malcolm, and he's spun towards the middle of the apex of the corner there, coming down into turn 5, I believe that is. Yep, he ran into the back of the, of Oliver Elliott there, and then Jake Tucker went straight into the back of him as well, as a sort of an accordion effect.
Nowhere for him to go, unfortunately. Had some contact with other cars as well in the aftermath of that one. So, unfortunate events for those guys who are running so strongly here, Connery. Take a look back, though, at the front of our field. We're still keeping John Sully and Mark Turner involved in this one. As you know, it's Mark Turner and Gareth Dornan at the back of this, which is now a 6-car group at the front. Ward looking to make a move here on Adcock, who is your current leader. We'll see who will try and bully it on into taking the lead, of course, on that final lap corner. And it will be a case of who doesn't want to lead onto the final lap. And Stuart Adcock could be setting Tom Ward up here for that, but they have got a bit of a gap now over Gary Tall. But Tall making his way forwards again. See if he can get involved in this front three. Maybe get some laps led in this one as we go on to lap number 6. We'll be halfway this time by. And we still have no idea what's going to happen in this motor race.
Yeah, no idea at all, as the race lead is going to swap again. Tom Ward will get that just coming across the line, coming out the final corner. So it looks like, from what we've seen over the past couple of laps, that coming out the first corner, you'll want to be the one behind, and you have the run to the start-finish line more often than not. So this is what your drivers have to be thinking about. It may be an interesting white flag lap as they try to let each other through into the lead, maybe.
It certainly could be that way here, as Stuart Adcock having another look on Tom Ward. Not been allowed to get away this time, as here comes Tall from behind. Bigger run this time for the Epicuri Banana Machine. That 207 car there of Gary Tall. He'll try and make his way further forwards here. There's a good run in the draft as Adcock looks to the outside of Tom Ward. Defensive by Ward. Here comes Tall. Can he swipe back and go for the inside line? Adcock clears Tom Ward. Will Gary Tall dive for something there? A patient run there by Gary Tall, staying in line here in 3rd place, but closing that gap ever so much as each lap comes past. Tom Ward desperate to stay ahead here. He looks, tries to find a way through on Adcock. Not going to find a line this time by, as they'll come now up past turn 6 towards 7 and 8 in the hurry downs here. As they drop down towards the carousel, and the steep gradient to this circuit really not so evident on the TV cameras, Connery, but they are quite high up here. The carousel drops you down quite an elevation.
Yeah, here comes Tom Ward on the inside of what is going to be turn 8 here at Road America, just before the long right-hander of the carousel, but he's going to have to fall behind, just going to have to let Stuart Adcock lead another portion of a lap at least, as again, this is a 6-car train at the front of the field. Any one of these 6 drivers can potentially win this race. As here comes Tom Ward, maybe on the inside of the kink. No thinks better of it. He's trying to think, where does he want to make his move now?
Well, it wouldn't be in the kink. It's never a good place to pass anybody in any kind of racing car. But on the last lap, these things can happen. As Ward looks to the inside there as they run up towards Canada. Ward will have the line. Let's have Adcock in 2nd place potentially for the run up to the start-finish line. So interesting setup we're starting to see here. Different perhaps than before, but Adcock defends. He'll have Billy Mitchell-Benz inside line. Goes through with no particular problem. Tom Ward's going to try and look for a way. A friction racing car darting and dancing around here, Connery. Of course, Ward's going to have to watch his temperatures, of course. That's something notorious in the Skippy, and Ward pushing so on edge. A lot of engine problems for him, especially in the draft, and he's always been so close to back of Adcock. Be very careful about that.
Yeah, he has to be very careful indeed, as he's going to take the race lead this time by again. Here comes Gary Tall, maybe threading the needle through the middle. He's going to try it coming down the pit straight. That is a very risky move, but he may get the 2-for-1 pass done coming into turn 1. He's going to hold the outside line, contact with Stuart Adcock right there, but they both managed to keep it on track. And there's Gary Tall, the race lead, and Tom Ward is going to have to fight with Stuart Adcock and Stuart McFadden coming down into turn 3.
He certainly is. As I just saw Stuart Adcock's microphone light up, Connery, so some expected choice language there for Gary Tall in the Banana Mobile, as Adcock expressing his displeasure with that situation, which is almost a guarantee in these sort of events, as McFadden getting involved. There's 3 wide for the lead again. Tom Ward grabbing a bit of grass as Adcock, both of them split him on the outside. And anybody else go for the move there over Gary Tall? Not at this stage, but Adcock back to the motor race lead here, as this one is certainly hotting up. There's been some contact. Things might not end as peaceably as we might want here, although I think I could stand some fireworks, Connery.
Oh yeah, I definitely think we'll be seeing that in the not too distant future, coming towards the end of this race. Here comes Tom Ward, maybe on the inside of turn 8. He had a little think about it, has shows the nose, but does not end up going for the move. Again, still this 6-car train ending with Mark Turner right now for your race lead heading through the carousel. The second pack is going to consist of Steve Heffnan's John Sully, and they may even join this 6-car train, make it a 7 or even 8-car train come the end if these guys start fighting up front even harder than they already are. Bill Fraser and Clark Williams may have a chance, so maybe anyone inside your top 10 has a non-zero chance of winning this race.
certainly could happen with the way this is looking, as Ward and Adcock there once again side by side on the run to Canada corner. It's Adcock on the inside line. We have neglected a lot of the rest of our field, but there is a lot of single file action going on behind us here, Connery. As we'll have a quick run through the top 10, of course, as they run up towards Billy Mitchell. It's Ward, Adcock, Tall, McFadden, Dorning in 5th with Turner, Sully, Hefford, Fraser and Clark Williams back in the top 10 there. If I have a quick look here at Bill Fraser, racing pretty hard there with Clark Williams. 98's just got past the Scotsman, moving up to 9th place. Up ahead of them, it's Hefford and Sully battling for position, and look back to the lead. Is Tom Ward going to go up the inside again on Stuart Adcock as he'll make his way past before the line again? But it's showing pretty evidently he won't be in second on the run to the line. Here comes Gary Tall. Will he make a move? Adcock goes for one to the inside. Will Tall do it? No, but McFadden's going to look on the brakes. They try for third place. There's all contact there with Ward and Adcock as Ward goes wide. Loses momentum, Connery.
Loses momentum, but not too much. He's still able to defend that second place, but maybe not if Stuart McFadden has anything to say about it. But no, he's not going to go for the greedy lunge down the inside of Tom Ward coming into turn 3. He's just going to settle in behind. But here comes Tom Ward again. Does he stick behind this time, or is he going to make the pass? He is going to make the pass on the back straight here. We're running out of laps right here, so your drivers have to get sorted into the positions where they want to be at the start of the final lap here, as they're going to head down onto the brakes, coming down into turn 5. Stuart Adcock going to hold that inside line, going to defend that first position almost from Tom Ward, but Tom Ward has the momentum around the outside. He's going to inherit the race lead and has been battling behind as well.
It certainly has been. Things have closed up a lot in your top 6 here, as Ward, Adcock, Tall, McFadden, Dorning and Turner here right on top of each other as his car's gleaning from behind as well. The battling is backing these guys up, and well, right now that got a little fisticuffs there between Adcock and Ward. They've already had a little bit of contact, so expect blood to be up at the moment, Connery. This one is far from done. We're going to be ending lap number 8 this time by, which means we'll have 2 to go. This is when things will really get exciting.
Yeah, as you said just a couple of moments ago, the fireworks are definitely going to go off at the end of this race, as Gary Tall has a decent run on Stuart McFadden coming out the carousel. Don't think he's going to take the opportunity though coming into the kink. Maybe he's going to be waiting for Canada corner as the front 2 are still getting close. Here comes Stuart Adcock, maybe on the left-hand side, driver's left-hand side of Tom Ward. This is the run down towards Canada corner. They're going to be heading on the brakes pretty soon. Tom Ward is going to have the inside line, the preferable line through this corner, but if Stuart Adcock can hold it around the outside, which he does, but he runs through the gravel, still makes it too wide. He's going to have the inside line for Bill Mitchell. Bend this, Stuart McFadden now smelling blood from Tom Ward, as Stuart Adcock's going to inherit race lead. Probably not for long though, with the run coming out of the final corner. Here comes Stuart McFadden. He really wants to be in that second place on the final lap ahead of Tom Ward to maybe challenge for the win on Adcock.
Certainly is, and this is getting aggressive. Look at the car posture by Tom Ward. He jinks, he jives. He's looking very aggressive, Connery. That car looking very much on edge. He's going to be perhaps a little bit excited here. Could see a mistake or two if this one plays out properly, but look at this. Gary Tall, Stuart McFadden going to go for it. 3 wide for the lead on to lap number 9 here. 2 to go at the line, and the race is far from over yet.
Yeah, and a huge dive down the inside for Mark Turner in turn 1, just getting Gareth Dorning and Gareth Dorning's team Hefford are going to go side by side. Will we see side by side at the front though? Yeah, for second place, Stuart McFadden, Tom Ward, and then maybe Tom Ward on the exit of the corner on Stuart Adcock. They're going to head to coming down the back straight here. Roadmaker crash behind though. There's a car in the concrete wall. That's Mark Turner. That's his race over.
Gonna get a quick replay of what happened to Mark Turner. Not a good one for him, but it was a solo car incident. Runs wide. Lost the car, countersteered into the barriers, bonk, your day is done, Mark Turner. Go back to the lead, and the action here as Ward is passed on the inside by Adcock, or can he hold it? He's going to have the line for 6 as well. Should have the pass completed here, Connery, but behind them, Dorning and Hefford are catching up as well, as Adcock just clears Ward, but he's not going to quite make it. Ward does duck in line though. Adcock leading as they go through the hurry downs.
Yeah, but does Adcock want to be leading at the start of the final lap? We'll just have to wait and see. Tom Ward maybe diving down the inside of turn 8, but not going to make it work as they head under the Spidville Bridge right there. Just coming into the carousel section of track right now. And Hefford and, well, Gareth Dorning, John Sully, they're all still going to be on the back of this train coming towards the last lap. So if they can make some quick passes, then maybe they'll have a chance at a good finishing position as well. Here comes Tom Ward down the inside of Adcock at the kink. This could be messy coming through here. Rachel is, oh, there's Tom Ward has to shrug off so much momentum to hold that inside line, but he's going to still be, oh no, he's going to have to fall in behind just before Canada corner. He looks towards the outside though.
Look what it's cost him though. Look at this. Dawn, no, it's Hefford up the inside. He's going to go for 2 for 1 here. Hefford up to third potentially in this one as he goes up the side of McFadden. McFadden might hold the line here though. It's Adcock leading from Tom Ward with Stuart McFadden in third. It's Hefford now in the 4th spot with Tall in 5th. This one's opened right up here as Tom Ward going to set up for that run again, and we'll go onto the white flag lap, Connery.
Yeah, this is going to be white flag this time by at the starter's stand, and here comes the moves on, well, for Tom Ward at least. He's going to make his way by Stuart Adcock before turn 1, we suspect. Here comes Steve Hefford on Stuart McFadden, and now this is just sorting themselves out for that final run coming out of turn 14, coming towards the start-finish straight. Where do they want to be at that particular corner? And, well, they're just going to be sorting themselves out for that right now. Steve Hefford and Stuart McFadden, they're going to battling too wide coming through turn 1, but they're going to have to settle and go single file.
They are, but for how long will we see that? It's Tom Ward leading, which isn't necessarily where he wanted to be here. Watch Adcock not make any moves on Tom Ward for this one. So this is going to be an incredible lap here, but he's going to go anyway. Interesting decision here by Stuart Adcock. He's going to go for the move regardless of Tom Ward. Maybe thinks he can pull Steve Hefford with him, and Hefford will come. Look at this. Steve Hefford go on the grass there in the braking zone. That was very risky. Adcock cuts off his nose up the inside. McFadden looks on the car there of Hefford. This is getting scrappy. Half a lap to go here at Road America. Up through turn number 6 under the bridge there. It's too wide for third. They've cost him some time. And Adcock doesn't want to be leading here. He knows it's not the way to win this race. Can he do something here? Can he let Tom Ward get past? Can Tom Ward make a mistake? Can he give up lead, Connery, without losing third?
Well, if there's one place he's going to do it, it's going to have to be on the run down towards Canada corner, try and maybe get behind Tom Ward and then just power it out of turn 14 coming towards the line. But we'll see what he does here. There's still a single file train coming through the carousel. This is on the run down towards the kink right now. Steve Hefford has a good run out of nowhere. He's going to be challenging for the good podium spots, maybe even the race win if he's lucky right here. But he's out of nowhere. He's race win challenger right now. Here comes Tom Ward, maybe down the inside of Canada corner.
This could be a threat here with Tom Ward. What will happen? Hefford's thrown into the mix here. Can he make a factor out of this? As it's too wide behind him. No, he doesn't hold on to the performance. He gets a little bit alongside him, but not enough. Just an overlap there with Tom Ward. Can he keep his nose on the inside for Billy Mitchell? He can't. Adcock going to be in a very bad position here running to the final corner. Going to be a drag race to the line. Can he do anything about it? Can he hold off Tom Ward? Does he know it's all over with? Tom Ward with a huge draft here. He's not breaking it yet. We expected he might, but he's opening the door. Can he close him off? Will it be a drag race to the line? Tom Ward, Stuart Adcock, wheel to wheel and at the line. Oh, it was Tom Ward. So close, Connery. Almost unbelievably close, but by a wing, Tom Ward takes that one. Stuart Adcock second place. Steve Hefford in third. Gareth Dorning in fourth with McFadden in fifth. I can take a breath. That was crazy.
Official timing 19 thousandths of a second that Tom Ward has taken that race win by. And I've got to say, Rachel, I think it was a mistake from Stuart Adcock to be ahead come the final corner. I'm sorry.
It certainly was. Tom Ward takes another victory this season, making it a sweep so far in 5 rounds, but so nearly not a win in today's race. Fantastic running by your leaders in that one. Nail-biting stuff, and well, without further ado, let's go to your race results. Taking home the win, Tom Ward with a fantastic nail-biter of a final lap. Stuart Adcock, so nearly the win. Steve Hefford coming from quite far back to take third in the end, 8th to 3rd. Dorning in 4th, with McFadden in 5th. Behind them, it's John Sully, Gary Tall, Clark Williams, Bill Fraser, and Mick Watson, your top 10. Rest of those results up on the screen as we calm down from a fantastic end to Monday Night Skippys here, Connery.
Yeah, this is one of the better finishes we have had for quite a while, and any one of about 6 or 8 cars could have won that race. It just happened to be Tom Ward Then Stuart Adcock, Steve Hefford getting his first podium in quite a while as well. So good result for him. Good result for Gareth Dorning as well, taking home the 4th position. And also Stuart Maffan taking 5th. But yeah, that was a fantastic race.
Absolutely nail-biting stuff. And folks, we are going to take a very, very short break. We'll be right back with post-race interviews. Welcome back to Monday Night Skippys here on Racespot TV for post-race interview action. That was a busy one tonight, Connery. Absolutely fantastic racing, and well, still recovering my breath.
Yeah, and I am too. It's been an absolutely fantastic race, and we have someone in the commentary booth with us. It's going to be Simon Maltby, ending up in that 13th position. Take it away, Rachel.
Simon, 13th today from 24th. Big climb for you, and a fairly good race.
Yes, much better this week, although I did still get hit from behind by Paul. He does say I moved in the braking zone, but I shall have to check that and put him to task if need be.
We shall have to drag him in here as soon as he arrives for an interview, which is his customary response, although I think we'll let him off for tapping you in the braking zone, seeing as it is El Capitan's birthday today.
And seeing as I survived.
And you did survive, so you're happy because you got a good result and you survived, so we'll go from that. But 13th, a great result today. A track perhaps that suits you?
Well, not in qualifying. I couldn't believe I was so far behind in qualifying. Only came in 23rd, I think it was, but the race was just a case of sitting behind people and working with Brian to draft and catch up and wait for people to drop out.
It certainly was, and well, fantastic run from you, of course, and 13th place, a great, great finish for you.
Yes, thank you, Rachel.
Thank you. We'll talk to Craig Hobson next, who came home today. I believe not such a good race for you today, Craig, down in the 34th spot after starting 22nd. What went wrong?
Yeah, no, we're having a great race, right the way up until the last corner, really. I took Stuart and on the last lap, came into the last corner. I grabbed a lower gear than I should have done, and unfortunately ran straight through the back of me. That's racing, isn't it?
Certainly is not exactly what you'd have liked to happen, but unfortunately this does happen sometimes in racing. Well, still a good result in the end, and well, hopefully, well, not a great result, I should say. What am I saying? But hopefully next week will be better.
Yeah, look forward to Silverstone and see how we go. But I will say John's had a pretty good day for the team, so yeah, great one. We'll see you at Silverstone.
We certainly will. Thanks for joining us, Craig Hobson. As next, John Sully, who came home today in 6th after starting in 12th, as Craig was saying. Slightly better result for the team, John.
Yeah, I have to be pleased with that. I mean, I did my usual job of leaving the handbrake on in qualifying and put myself under pressure on the second lap because the first one had a 1x. So, Yeah, 12th was about where I deserved to be, really. And then I made 4 places up on the first lap, and I just sort of got stuck. And then Steve, Hefford, and I worked together to catch the leading pack, which we managed to do. And then it just sort of kicked off a bit with a lap to go, and I think it ended up 6th. So yeah, quite pleased.
It certainly was a good result in the end, and well, hopefully on to Silverstone for great things again.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I was there on Sunday for the World Endurance Championship. It'd be nice to race it in the Pretend World.
Well, hopefully you'll have a good result there next week. And on, finally, to the birthday boy himself, El Capitan of the UK&I Club, Paul Thurston, who came home today in 14th place. Well, you got a free position on where you qualified today, Paul, for your birthday, but not a huge improvement.
Well, I didn't get too many presents, to be honest. I screwed up the second lap of qualifying. I just got it wrong, basically. First, I was actually in 4th place after the first laps went through, which I was quite pleased with. I thought we should just stop it there. But yeah, I screwed up that one. So I was starting. I think I was lucky to be starting down in 15th. I had a little bit more pace than that, and got a terrible start. I almost got a jump start. For some reason, my left foot twitched just before the lights went green, and of course that meant I had to quickly react. But I was well slow away. Lost about 2 places there. Then lost a couple more places to the draft. I seemed to be a mobile chicane. But then it always feels like that here, because you're just going down the straight and people just pass you as if you're standing still. Then I got hit a couple of times. I got hit once coming into turn. What's the first left-hander? Turn 422, isn't it?
Something like that, yes.
Yeah, I got hit coming into that. That was okay. I caught that. And I don't think I lost any spots there, but I wasn't sure about the car after that, and I did lost a couple more places. I think it might have been a little bit bent. Then I got hit again coming around on turn. I think it's turn 3, because the little kink underneath the bridge is a corner, isn't it here? In turn 3, someone basically just, I think, trying to outbrake. He just stuck his nose in. You can't do that there. You really can't. And yeah, and that knocked me back about 4 places, and I just couldn't get past people. And then I did actually. I was the person to hit Simon coming into turn 4-5N, the left-hander, which I was apologetic for, because it was nobody had hit him up to that point. So as it was my birthday, I thought it was my turn.
You had to oblige, of course, as I think everyone takes a turn at hitting poor Simon Maltby in this series, but
He'd have felt.
well, I'm sure he did. But anyway, Paul, great result there in the end for you. And, well, happy birthday from all of us at Racebot TV. And as a gift, we will not sing happy birthday.
The silence is telling, Rachel.
It absolutely
last
is,
time we
yes.
did that, it didn't go well.
Oh, it went very badly last time, as I think Paul's internet died anyway. But, folks, we will join you same time next week when we head to Silverstone for round number 6. So stick with us, and we'll see you then. Have a great night.